Come now, therefore, and let us slay him, and cast him into some pit. And we will say, Some evil beast has devoured him, and we shall see what will become of his dreams. What we are told is that Jacob, Israel, loved Joseph more than all his children, because he was the son of his old age, and he made him a coat of many colors. The phrase here likely refers to a long, ornamented tunic, marking status, not just color. This is fitting in Jacob's mind, because Joseph was the first son of beloved Rachel. It is not fitting in the minds of his brothers. As expected, his brothers begin to hate him because of the status he's afforded, and cannot bring themselves to speak a kind word to him. Jealousy rules. Joseph then has a dream that he and his brothers are binding sheaves of grain in the field, and suddenly his sheaf rises upright, while the others bow down before it. We'll find out later that Joseph has a special gift in being able to see into the future via his dreams and the dreams of others. When he tells his brothers about the dream, a really stupid thing to do, they hate him even more. They see it in it to claim that he will rule over them, which is the logical conclusion to the symbolic meanings of the dream. And Joseph has another dream. This time the sun, the moon, and 11 stars bow down to him. How the sun and the moon bow down, I'm not sure. But again, stupidly, he tells his brothers and even his father about the dream. Now Jacob, his father, rebukes him, saying, What is this dream that thou hast dreamed? Shall I and thy mother and thy brethren indeed come to bow down ourselves to thee upon the earth? Now Joseph's mother is dead, we're told earlier, but maybe Jacob is referring to the senior woman of the house, and we're not sure who that is. Maybe Leah is in fact still around. The dream again is quickly interpreted by all. Jacob has 11 brothers, that's the 11 stars, and the sun and the moon represent a paternal and maternal figure, father and mother, and all of these entities are bowing to him. We are then told that Joseph's brothers have gone to Shechem to tend the flocks. We would think is roughly 3 days north, maybe less, maybe more. But it is, of course, the very place where 2 of the brothers killed every man in the city of Shechem, and the rest of the brothers plundered the place. So you'd think that they might want to avoid this area. But then again, they killed all the men and seized everything else. We know from before also that God sent his terror to other Canaanites who might want revenge. So maybe Shechem was now a safe area to graze sheep. Jacob sends Joseph from Hebron to see how the brothers are doing and to bring back word. We're not told why Joseph was not with the rest of his brothers to begin with. Maybe because they hate him and do not want him around. In my view, Jacob should know that sending Joseph on a trip out of town or away from the tents to check on his brothers is not safe for him. The brothers hate him, and up until this point, Jacob's sons have not behaved well. Joseph is usually treated as an innocent in this story, but from one perspective, Jacob's favorite son has ratted out 2 of his brothers and has announced twice, kind of vainly, that he has had dreams in which they all bow down to him. Joseph may have been present and active during the aftermath of the earlier massacre at Shechem, but the text does not specify his role. The Bible does tell us that all the brothers were involved either as killers or plunderers during that massacre. This would have included a younger Joseph. The only innocent so far is Benjamin, who was born after the massacre happened, but he will not remain innocent for long. After wandering the fields near Shechem, Joseph is directed by a man to Dothan. In modern geographical reconstructions of biblical geography, this was not that close, perhaps 6 to 8 hours walking, maybe a day. Dothan was, it's out there in the country. Dothan was where the brothers had gone, presumably, to graze the flock. The brothers saw Joseph approaching from a distance. We learn in a moment that he was wearing his coat of many colors, which is probably why the brothers recognized him from far away. This was a bad fashion choice for that day. Genesis tells us that they conspired against him to slay him, and they said to one another, Behold, this dreamer cometh. Come now, therefore, and let us slay him, and cast him into some pit. And we will say, Some evil beast has devoured him, and we shall see what will become of his dreams. Well, of course, they didn't say all of this at once. This could be taken as a paraphrase of the general and swift agreement among the brothers to do in their brother Joseph. Why they thought of throwing him into a pit after the killing makes me wonder if they had not done exactly this sort of thing before to someone else. These brothers come off as some really nasty pieces of work. But Reuben, the eldest, intervenes, urging the others not to shed blood. Perhaps he's showing some guilt and conscience about having sex with the mother of two of his brothers. He suggests instead that they just throw Joseph alive into a pit. A mugging of sorts, but not a murder. He secretly plans to rescue Joseph later. When Joseph arrives, they strip off his robe and cast him into a pit, skipping the killing, at least for the time being. Then they sit down to eat, I guess as people like this do after throwing someone into a pit. Then they see in the distance a caravan of Ishmaelite traders coming from Gilead, with camels loaded with spices bound for Egypt. Then Judah speaks, saying that there would be no profit in killing Joseph, as now they have the opportunity to sell him as a slave to the Ishmaelite traders and make some money. Judah is apparently the businessman of the group. The others agree. They draw Joseph up from the pit and sell him for 20 pieces of silver. And the merchants carry him away to Egypt. As a side note, the traders are called both Ishmaelites and Midianites, and we're not sure what this all means, but they seem to be people that are reasonably close to the line of Abraham. Now, the best way to resolve this inconsistency in naming the merchants without getting into a long theological debate is to speculate that the two names are just used interchangeably by the text to designate a merchant caravan. All right. Oh, and note here that these merchants and probably any such caravans have no problem with the act of capturing or kidnapping defenseless people and selling them as slaves or purchasing slaves themselves. So they have no trouble with selling slaves or purchasing slaves. Now, Reuben, who had apparently stolen away from his brothers, was not part of the trade agreement. He returns to the pit and sees that it is empty. He rents or tears his clothes in anguish. Again, the renting of clothes when something bad happens is a common response to horrible things in the Bible. The brothers then slaughter a goat and dip Joseph's robe in its blood and take it to their father. Reuben is complicit in this deception. Young Benjamin, younger than Joseph and his full brother, is also complicit. Jacob recognizes the coat and exclaims that an evil beast hath devoured him. Joseph is without doubt rent in pieces. Then Jacob rents his own clothes in anguish. In Jacob's grief, all his sons and daughters try to comfort him. But Jacob refuses to be comforted, and he said, For I will go down into the grave unto my son mourning. Thus his father wept for him. This chapter ends with the traders selling Joseph to Potiphar, an officer of the Pharaoh in Egypt and captain of the guard. Joseph has been stripped of everything except the one God given gift, that of interpreting dreams and really of prophecy. And this one gift has so far contributed greatly to his troubles. There will be even more trouble to come, including some fine dramatic turns, as was identified by a young Andrew Lloyd Webber when he began work on the musical Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat many years ago. But first, we must go on a journey with Judah, the brother who turned the violence on Joseph into profit. For more videos on Genesis, please subscribe to this channel. And if you'd like the complete course, the Udemy link is in the description below.